Cody, thank you for being here. So you brought the Boosted Rev with you, the first electric scooter of Boosted.
Yep.
So what's your opinion about it? Tell me.
Oh, I love the scooter.
Yeah.
First of all, Amsterdam's amazing. Such a great town to explore. You've got so many good bike lanes and such an awesome bike culture that riding the scooter around here is amazing. The Boosted Rev, to me, is just like, yeah, it's a scooter, but it feels just like a brand new form of vehicle. I have so much confidence when I ride it. It has so much power. It just feels so safe. Engineered from the ground up. Yeah, when a lot of other companies are thinking about building a scooter, really they're going to China and picking parts out of a catalog. When Boosted did it, we went directly to the customer, and the customer told us that they wanted something that was more durable, and we went out and built a vehicle-grade scooter that we're super proud of.
Because it is fucking stable.
Yeah, it is.
I drove it for a while and I fucking love it.
It's fun, isn't it?
It's fun. It's, as you just mentioned, it's safe. It feels safe, actually. You know, you got the motor brakes, you got the disc brake, you got the, how do you call the back thing?
Stomp brake. I don't know.
Stomp brake?
Yeah, it's funny because internally we're trying to define all the different parts. But yeah, I don't know. Stomp brake, I guess is what we're calling it right now. But like the head tube, I'm sometimes struggling with what I call stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Like what you would traditionally call something on a mountain bike or whatever it is, a little bit different on a scooter. Yeah, I guess we could call that the stomp brake though.
The stomp brake.
Yeah.
I can't wait for people to customize it, actually, do the 3D prints and different colors. And is that something that Boosted will do in the future? Add accessories to the scooter?
And that's a good question. I think it would be pretty cool. I know that I've already been thinking to myself some of the things that I could do, like maybe putting on like a high-end brake lever or some different bars just to sort of differentiate when I get my personal scooter. Unlike the skateboard where there's only the opportunity to switch out the wheels. And this is with my limited knowledge, but I feel like the parts on the scooter, they're less proprietary, right? And so I think there will be some options for customization. Like I said, maybe bars, brake lever, that sort of thing. Colorways would be sick. I think people really want to be able to express themselves a little bit through their electric skateboard. We see that with customization, also with just like LEDs. People love throwing on different wheels. So maybe like a few different colorways with the Mini X or with the scooter one day, I think would be really cool. Yeah. I'll tell you, I actually have a utility trailer that I put on the very first scooter I received. I just did it for fun. I bought a Burley utility trailer, threw it on the back of my scooter, and I've been riding that around Santa Cruz. I put my son and my dog in there, so a total of about maybe around 100 kilos, probably less, about 80 kilos, about 200 pounds. And we've been riding around Santa Cruz, so that was my little way of accessorizing.
It's like your family train going through Santa Cruz.
Yeah, it's a sight to be seen for sure.
How do you connect that? You connect it to like the back?
I just connected it to the back wheel, just like you would a bicycle. I did have to flip the design a little bit because it was designed to connect to the left side because the bikes have the derailleur on the right. But it worked real well. I can't take full credit. Someone in my office did it before me. But I love the idea so much I had to try it out. And it really speaks to the power of the scooter. It's amazing. With all that weight, still, can conquer all the hills in my town. With just me on the scooter, does a 25% grade. So for reference, the curvy hill that you see in San Francisco, Lombard Street, the one from all the postcards, the scooter will take me straight up that. So yeah, tons of power.
Actually, I took it out together with the Segway and the Xiaomi scooter just to see the differences. And in Amsterdam, we have all the bridges. Drove over them, and fuck, all the other scooters, they couldn't even make it to the top. The Boosted was flying over there.
Yeah, the power is unreal.
Yeah.
It's a good point, though, because like the scooter does have a lot of power, but it's very controllable. And I think that's a big part of what makes Boosted the brand we are, is the way we deliver the power. A lot of other brands that are building scooters or electric skateboards, they can go as fast as they want to make them go. They have tons of torque, but that power curve is very linear. It's either on or off. And with the Boosted, it's very similar to, I don't know, from like driving your Toyota car or your Tesla, right? You can just feather the gas, you can stomp on the brakes. Might not sound like much if you've never tried an electric skateboard or an electric scooter, but really, to me, it's just a world of difference. If you're riding the scooter through the streets of Amsterdam, through traffic, through New York City. You don't want to be going 15, 20 Ks and have to apply that brake and not feel safe about doing it. That's one. Two, we have 3 ride modes. So yeah, the power's insane, but in mode 1, the torque is virtually non-existent. Like I would put I'd be willing to put anybody on that scooter, regardless of experience or ability, in mode 1. Super safe. Mode 2 is eco mode. So again, torque's really tuned down, and that mode's really optimized for range. But you have options as a rider, right? If you don't want just, outrageous torque. Yeah.
About the range, though, it's a 35-kilometer range and a 35-kilometer-an-hour scooter, right?
So can I do miles per hour? Just because.
Yeah.
So
can somebody calculate what the miles per hour to kilometers are, like imperial metric stuff?
I think I have it I think 20 Ks is around, 20 miles is the range. And I think that's a little under 40 Ks, maybe 38 and a half. And then the top speed of 22 miles an hour is 24 miles an hour is...
That's the same top speed as the Stealth, right?
Is the Stealth. I think is right around 45 Ks, but we'll let your guy do the calculations. Yeah, so the range, 20 miles more than enough, especially just for your last mile needs. But really on the scooter, you can take much longer rides, which is nice. But the range is really dependent upon how you ride. We always like to be really transparent with people, and a lot of other brands, I don't think, always do the best job representing the range as best as they could. So I'm hoping we're going to start putting out more metrics such as like watt hours and voltage to really let people know how much power the Boosted has and really what's there. But like I was saying, range really depends on the way you ride. So if I get on my Boosted Stealth and I'm just full speed ahead, if there's hills, I can maybe get 6 to 8 miles range. If I'm cruising with the kids and I'm riding pretty chill, I'm in eco mode, I might even do better than 14. So it really depends how you ride. Yeah.
You said boosted scooter, so it's no boosted board scooter. It's just a boosted scooter? Because there's this whole rebranding thing going on, right?
Well, I'm not sure if it's a real rebranding thing. Really from the top down and from the beginning, we've always been a light electric vehicle company. Just for the nomenclature, I would say boosted board scooter sounds a little weird to me, so I'm calling it the boosted scooter. But I'm not really thinking into that too much. But I would say from the top down, we've always been a light electric vehicle company. Our 3 founders, Sanjay, Matt, and John, were working on the robotics PhDs at Stanford University. And really their goal was to move people through urban environments as efficiently as possible. Our first product was a skateboard, but we've always looked at the bike lane as having tons of opportunity, right, for the future of transportation. The roads are congested, just a ton of cars, and heavily regulated, right? The sidewalks, they're for people. So we want to take ownership of the bike lane. We want to be the Volkswagen, the Tesla of the bike lane one day. So any product you see in the bike lane, you could imagine in the bike lane, is a product Boosted would maybe someday build.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Can't wait until what you're going to launch next, though.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So about the founders, so Sanjay, Jeff, and...
Nope. So it's Sanjay, John, and Matt. So we're the original 3 founders. If I said Jeff, I apologize. Jeff is now our current CEO. But Sanjay and Matt left the company to start Skip Scooters. So they're no longer with us.
I've seen those around in San Francisco, everywhere.
Yep. Yeah, they're really popular. They're doing well.
How come that if I go to Paris and you got 6 or 7 different scooter companies over there, but in San Francisco, which is way bigger, I only see Skip?
I think San Francisco is one of the more regulated cities, and they've just decided that they want to work with, I think it's 2 or 3 brands. So I think it's Skip and a few others are operating in the city. Man, if you think Paris is bad, you should go to Barcelona. And then if you think Barcelona is bad, like when we were in Lisbon, Portugal, it was unbelievable. My guess is that there must be 10 to 15, maybe 20 different scooter share brands operating there.
Shit.
Yeah, which is wild because the cobblestones streets there, I mean, they're so rough. And the scooters are pretty sketchy, but they are unregulated and absolutely everywhere you look.
We had the EMA director of Bird here once, and he told me that the scooters, the runtime is around 90 days. And after 90 days, they're done.
Yep. Yeah, I've heard that as well. They just don't last.
They don't last 90 days tops. That's like on average.
Yep.
And most of the times they won't even stay on the street for longer than 30 days because there are a few scooters who are outside the city center. They will take the average up. Mm-hmm. But most of the scooters won't last more than 30 days.
I've heard the same thing. Yeah, I think that, not only is that common with scooter share, but I think that's very common with a lot of the scooters you buy on the market today. Even the Ninebots and the Xiaomis and some of the middle range brands, from what I'm hearing, is that customers are buying those actually knowing this product might only last me 3 months, 6 months, a year, right? You're not buying it. It's not an investment, like a long-term investment. And that's, again, a big differentiator between us and the other brands. The Boosted products are built to last, right? And you're just going to enjoy riding them so much more. And really, it's such a much more like responsible decision, right? To buy something that's built to last, as well as, like I said, it's just, we're going to take the worst part of your day, make it the best part of your day. People are going to love it.
Awesome. Yeah. So the skip scooters, will they ever be replaced? Will they just replace the Segway scooters I think they use? For the Boosted ones?
I'll be honest, I don't know a lot about what Skip's doing, other than just catching an article every once in a while and maybe catching up with Sanjay and Matt if I see them. Yeah. So I don't know what brand they're using. Would Boosted love to supply scooter share? Yeah, maybe one day. That could be an option for us. Right now, what we're really trying to do is it's just all hands on deck, getting scooters ready for retailers like you and for consumers, right? Because we've already done a ton of pre-orders. So you're not going to see them pop up in scooter share anytime until we've fulfilled all our back orders, we've caught up with customers, and we've kept our current relationships whole. That's really important to Boosted. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So there won't be... If I look at all the other brands who are making scooters right now, the first things they do is they design it thinking about the share platforms in mind. Mm-hmm. And Boosted decided, no, we're just going to do it only for the consumer.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, we went to the consumer, and our model is owned right now, right? So that's who we built the product for. Yep. The owned model is the one we're going after. Yeah. Had a thought there, but it lost me.
So how did you end up at Boosted actually?
Yeah, this is actually a fun story. How did I end up at Boosted? I bought a Boosted board. I loved it. I actually bought a Boosted and one of our competitors' boards at the same time. Spent about a week with both because I just wasn't sure which one was right for me. This was like early 2015, I believe. And
you bought a board because you're a surfer, right?
No, I just bought a board. You know what? I had an E-Glide electric skateboard 10 years ago. The thing weighed about 60 pounds. It had these old lead acid batteries that would have to be replaced every 3 months. And it was an absolute death trap. It was so dangerous to ride. I loved it. And I had put it away in storage. I pulled it out and was like trying to replace the batteries on it, trying to get it going again, and said, there's got to be something way better out there. And that's when I found Boosted. Bought the board. Like I said, bought one of our competitors' boards as well. Just totally as a customer, trying to figure out what was right for me. Right off the bat, I just loved the way the Boosted feel. I could tell the quality was there. So I sold the other board and bought a second Boosted for my daughter for Christmas so we could ride together. She used it to commute to school. Shortly after that, I was just a fan of the brand, and Boosted had an open house. So I went over there. I met the team. Me and Sanjay really clicked. We chatted for a while. And I just told him I'd love to join the company if there was ever an opening. And really, I'd just been in sales and in marketing my whole life. And being able to sell and market a product like this that I love so much is awesome. Love the job. Happy it all worked out.
You're traveling a lot for Boosted, right? Because right now you're doing the EU tour, and you're going to do a US tour as well, or?
So we are doing a US tour. Our US events team is doing that tour. That's guys like Bobby and Ship. And Ship was just out here. You met him.
Awesome guy.
He's a good guy, yeah. Yeah, same with Bob. Have you met Bobby yet?
Yeah, I spoke with him in Berlin during the demonstration right over there.
Yep.
Short thing. Yeah, only in Berlin, I think.
Cool.
Yeah, once.
Speaking of that Berlin event, I think they're doing something on the 16th. Boosted's going to be there, and we're sending a team out there as well. Dirk and Mike are going to go out there, so you'll meet
That's
those
the
guys.
urban fair, right? The urban
You know better than me. Yeah. Is it the
Urban
Urban Fair? Yep. Yeah, cool. Sorry, what was the original question?
How you got into Boosted? Then gotta help me out, Nelson.
Oh, it's all good. Anyways, yeah. So, how I got into the Boosted. That was a good one. Yeah. U.S. tour. Thank you.
U.S. tour. Thanks.
Yes. So we're not doing a U.S. tour. We currently are doing a U.S. tour, but the sales team isn't going to do a U.S. tour when we return. We're going to an event called Outdoor Retailer. And this is just an event where brands connect with different retailers across the U.S. That's in Denver, Colorado. It should be pretty cool. Me and the sales team, we travel a lot, but not as much as people seem to think. Usually when we travel, it's in bunches. So we were out here a few months ago for ISPO. Did a little bit of traveling throughout Europe after the show. A few weeks before that, we were in Australia. But it was months in between that span. We try to, the sales team's a small team. It's just me, Willie, and Mitch. But we really want to get FaceTime with our retailers once a year. Yeah. Right? I think that's just good business practice. And when there's an issue down the road, it's so much easier calling up town, being like, yo, what's up? Let's figure this out. Yeah. As opposed to, not really getting a chance to know each other. We grabbed beers, I think, just the other night. And it's all about that relationship building relationships with our retailers. But also, we're out here doing group rides and building relationships with our community. The Boosted community is a big part of who our brand is, and we really like to support those guys as well. Yeah. So we have an event planned today. I'm sure a bunch of our riders will show up. We've got swag for them. We're going to let them try the scooter. Maybe we'll all do a group ride or grab some food. And
this is what I love about Boosted, like being involved with the community, trying to actually get in touch with them, touch base, be like, hey, man, drop by, have some pizza, and tell me your story. What do you like about it? What do you don't like about it? And I also like that you ask for feedback. Mm-hmm. That's something new that I think all the retailers must be amazed by. Like, holy shit, this company is asking for like feedback about our product. So.
Yeah, no, it's. You guys are a great resource for us. First of all, nobody has more interaction with the customer than you do, and really, we want to build what the customer wants, right? Yeah. So the retailers are always a great resource for us. Getting that feedback is a big part of guiding the direction of our design team. Like I said, we built the scooter from the ground up. We went to the scooter customer and asked them what they wanted. So it's always, our brand is very genuine in that regard.
Yeah. Well, then my last question though, it's when it's going to be delivered? When can we expect it in like?
I think
July.
US
first, right?
Yeah. Right now the plan is to have the launch be global, right? And I think that's going to happen. I think that customers in Europe, Australia, North America, those are the markets we're in. I think regardless of when you ordered, they're all going to get the boards at the same time, and hopefully retailers too. With retail, it'll probably be very limited allocation, right? So maybe it's 1 or 2 units. But we want to keep everybody relevant on day one, right? We want to support the retailers just like we support the customers. We just want to keep everybody happy. It's not always the easiest thing to do, right? Especially when you have delays. Mm-hmm. But I think our brand does a good job of, 1, hitting our timelines, but 2, when we don't, just always being transparent with the customer and trying to make things right. Yeah.
Awesome product. I fucking love it.
Cool, man.
I can't wait until it comes out.
Yep. Yeah.
I had the pleasure to drive it. It's sick.
You liked it?
Yeah. Ever since I tried it in San Francisco, I was like, shit, I can't wait for this, especially with the throttle. Throttle is amazing. At the beginning, I was skeptic about the whole way of using it as the boosted throttle, because I thought like I'm used to having the press down throttle button on the other scooters.
Sure.
But when I started using it, it feels like you are actually mind controlling. Actually, it feels like you're so gently moving the scooter around, and it does exactly what you're telling it to.
Yep. Yeah, it's really intuitive. And especially if you're coming from the Boosted board, right? It's a very similar interaction with the product. But that thumb wheel is so nice. I just love the way it feels, just like the curling on I think that's what you call it, the way the texture is on the wheel.
Yeah.
It just feels so quality. And the throttle is really cool. I agree.
Cool.
Yeah.
thank you for being here.
Yeah.
So if you want to say something to our audience, now's your time. You can tell them whatever you like.
Sure, yeah. Just to the Fatdaddy audience, I would say thanks for supporting Boosted. And if you want to get a Boosted Rev or a Boosted board, Fatdaddy's the place to do it. Amsterdam.
Thank you so much, man.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it.
Cool.